They were both inspirational in their own ways. They were both very different, as different as can be, but they were both great providers. And shortly after 2008, when we had the market crash, we suffered the loss of both of them within about a year and a half of each other. And that's really what changed our trajectory. It's really what inspired us to go out on our own. We saw two men who provided for their family, who worked hard, saved, who thought about their futures, but they just planned differently. One of them planned with a holistic style financial planner, and so he had a lot of different areas covered, and the other, like many Americans, saved. Saved in a 401k and an IRA, and that's where their accounts were. They thought those were investment accounts or retirement accounts, and very quickly realized after 2008, and then getting sick, how those were not. So one of them, he left a legacy that we'll see his grandchildren prosper from, his children. And the other, after he passed, he left a different kind of legacy. He left a legacy of debt. He left a spouse behind that financially relies on our children.
It left us with a lot of confusion and a lot of scurrying around and trying to make sure that the family was taken care of.
I knew that that's not what he or she had planned for themselves in retirement. Seeing the two different circumstances, seeing the planning side and actually seeing the products and services that were used compared to what wasn't. I got together and put together a proposal, and I talked to the firm that I was working for and said, this is what we need to do. This is how we save a generation from what I saw here personally. After a short while of considering it, they decided that's not the way they were going to go, and that's when my wife and I decided that this was our chance to really make a difference.
We came to it sitting at our dining room table, and the first thing was, well, where are we going to do this from? We had a small house at the time. We had a baby at home. We couldn't just, up and leave, and so it was kind of, we began right where the idea began, right there at that kitchen table.
It was not a 9 to 5. We had a lot going on. We just gotten married.
We had to make sure that all of the paperwork was in order.
It just moved.
The business accounts were set up properly.
Had another baby shortly thereafter.
Had a proper accountant.
There was a lot of research. There was a lot of juggling. There was a lot of late nights. We didn't know how to run a business or anything like that, but we knew how to help people. We knew how to connect with people. We knew how to build relationships.
If something tragic should happen to somebody early on or unexpectedly, I want them to be prepared financially. I want their families to feel that they are able to spend time with their loved one instead of worrying about finances or a financial plan. On the opposite of that, for our clients who live a long, healthy, full life, I want them to live out that retirement portion of their life with peace of mind.
Every time I sit down with a client, I think about the tale of two dads, and how can I make sure that this doesn't happen to their family.